At 6:42, kids are now back in school, and it's a sure bet that all of them are plugged in online during school and obviously once they get home. But the more time kids spend online, it leaves them open to danger.
Right now, Congress is drafting legislation trying to protect kids. So joining us now to talk more about the bill, one of the men working on that bill, Texas Congressman Tony Gonzales.
Yes, good
Congressman,
morning.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Glad to have
good
you
morning,
here.
Barry. Good morning, Sarah.
So tell us a little bit about how the Kids Online Safety Act tries to protect the younger generation.
Absolutely. I have 6 kids. 4 of my children started school last week, and parents, many times our kids are growing up in a very different era than we grew up. So the COSA, I give a lot of credit to Maureen Molak. She's a local woman here that lost her son back in 2017 to cyberbullying.
David Molak.
That's
is
exactly
a case
right.
We have covered
That's
extensively
exactly right.
here.
I met with her, and she really advocated for this. In Congress, you get pulled in all these different directions. What COSA does is pretty some simple things. One, it gives parents the tools to provide safeguards and kind of track their children's online activity. That's so incredible, so critical that parents and guardians have that. The other part of it encourages social media platforms to prevent against sexual exploitation and cyberbullying, which we see on the rise. And then the third piece is it holds these social media platforms accountable for these ads that they're sending to our children. Look, if our children want to drink or smoke, that's fine, but they shouldn't have to make that decision at 12 years old. So it's these type of things that we need to get ahead of. No online school safety legislation has been passed in over 25 years.
Now these companies are working with you on this as well. Is it going to give parents more control over their kids' accounts?
Absolutely. It gives you a seat at the table to kind of track what's happening, to be involved in it, have these discussions with your children, and to be able to tackle these things. Right now, in many cases, parents aren't really aware of what is happening until it's too late. Once again, the cyberbullying is very real. The threats to all these different exploitations is very real. Our children are growing up in a very different era. I'd also add, AI is here. I mean, it is going to change the way things. We're not going to know what's real, what's fake anymore. It's why it's so critical that we pass this piece of legislation. It's already passed the Senate. I feel very confident that we're going to get a vote on it on the floor in the House. And it's long past time that parents and children have some online safety guardrails, especially as we tackle this new world.
Now, would you say that this bill also tries to get ahead of AI? Because at this point, really, social media is part of our everyday routine.
Yes.
Right? It has been for many, many years. So there are habits built into this.
Yes.
Talk about AI and how this could try to get ahead of that part of it.
I think it's very important that, look, we can protect the Constitution, whether it's the First Amendment, Second Amendment. We can protect the Constitution and have that ability of free speech, and we can also make sure that our children aren't consuming or being poisoned and being, led down this route, in some cases, very tragic situations. And AI, for all the positive things that it does, it is going to change our life even more. And for our children, they're growing up in this. This is all they know. They don't know some of these other things. It's why it's so important that parents and guardians have a seat at the table and have the ability to be able to have a supervisory role in some of these platforms. As our children are navigating who they're going to be, we can be there alongside them. It's just such a crazy and different world. As a parent of 6, I go back to it like, this is real, this is serious, and it's not as if our children aren't going to be watching, using some of these platforms. They are, and the sooner parents can get involved and have a seat at the table, it's why it's so critical that we pass this Kids Online Safety Act. It's long overdue.
I'm going to shift to Democratic National Convention wrapping up last night. Kamala Harris now officially the nominee. Sheriff Javier Salazar pretty much pointed the finger at Donald Trump, saying it was his fault they didn't pass this bipartisan bill. I want your thoughts on that. And I also, she was appointed border czar.
Sure.
What's the border going to look like if, in fact, she does win the presidency?
Yeah, the fun thing about politics is it's always somebody else's fault but your own, right? It's always somebody else's fault. So I look at it, and I look at it through the lens. I was just on the border yesterday. I was in Del Rio. I was in Eagle Pass. And while the border security part of it is very important, there's also all these other aspects of it that never get talked about. I was in Del Rio to talk about their airline that got pulled from them. They used to have a direct flight that would fly out of there. Now they no longer have that. And to also talk about a sportsplex that we helped get them. You know, we got Bernie going to the World Series. Well, guess what? You know, our kids in Del Rio are playing baseball in a caliche field. And so on the border, it's the same thing. These are real problems and real situations. The sooner we can stop blaming somebody else, the sooner we can go, hey, how do we tackle this problem? It's the reason why, honestly, I've spent a lot of time in Mexico. I'll be traveling to Mexico for the president-elect's inauguration. They're a big part of this problem. Hey, how do you get Mexico to do their part? We have to do our part. I'm done with the finger pointing. I get these conventions, you get all riled up, you talk to your base, but the sooner we can tackle the problem, the sooner we can all be safe. Well, we just had a police officer here in San Antonio get shot by Vivian Rodriguez. I went and visited her in the hospital. She got shot by one of these folks that was here illegally from Venezuela. I worry about the safety of our children, of our communities, and enough with the finger pointing. Let's get to work.
All right, Congressman Tony Gonzales, thank you very much for being here with us this morning. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.